Perfectionism is the enemy, y'all. Perfectionism is the enemy. So, my niece called me yesterday and told me how much she was enjoying this podcast and that it was good and that she had even sent it to a couple of her friends, right? And I was just like, thank you, thank you. I don't know how to respond, honestly, because honestly, when I record this podcast, sometimes I get really frustrated because it's just not sounding the way I wanted to, or it's just not perfect, right? I'm always critiquing myself. Like, I say a lot of, verbal pauses like, and and so, and yeah. Um, see? And I also feel like oftentimes I'm not getting my thoughts out clearly enough. I'm just not expressing myself well. And so I get into a lot of like self judgment and critique. But when she called me yesterday and, just told me that it was good, I was just like, thank you. I needed to hear that. I really needed to hear that, you guys, because sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if I want to put this up. Should I even be doing this? Or I'm thinking, is anyone even going to get anything out of this? I don't know, right? Even though I feel like someone will. And I've heard somewhere that an audience of one is still an audience, right? And, this will reach who it's supposed to. But sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to get, any exposure. I don't know if it's going to help somebody. Sometimes I just get real doubtful, right? But when she called me, it just reminded me that the goal is not perfection here, that the goal is just to be human, right? It's just to be human. And I think that oftentimes a couple of things happen when you're just trying to be perfect. The first thing is you stop. You just stop, or your progress becomes slower because you're discouraged. And honestly, that happened here a little bit with this podcast. I stopped recording for like 3 weeks. I did record some videos, but I didn't put them up. I was like, I don't like this. It's not coming out how I wanted to. I was doubting just the whole concept of this. And that happens when you're chasing perfection, when you're chasing this ideal, you stop. Another thing that can happen is you get in the way of your own like joy, right? You can't even appreciate what you're doing because you're thinking of how it's not this or that, like, right? Even if you decide to continue moving forward with something, knowing that it's not exactly how you want it to be, you're still in a space of like critiquing it so much that you can't even appreciate what you are creating. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to say that the point of this podcast is not to be perfect. Like, the purpose here is so far from perfection. That is not one of my goals here. The goal is just to be human and share my human experience, right? And with being human means there's going to be mistakes. It means there's a lot of imperfections, right? But in your humanity is connection. That's how we relate to people, right? You don't relate to people who are perfect. Honestly, like, perfection is not something that inspires, right? It's in the mistakes, it's in the growth, it's in the corrections that people are inspired, that people are motivated, right? That people can relate to you, because we're all going through some stuff and we're all imperfect and we all make mistakes and we all fall down and we all have to then get back up and grow and, you know, improve. And that's where that human connection is. And so with this podcast, I just have to remember that. And she reminded me, thank you. First of all, thank you to my niece for calling me just to tell me that she was enjoying this podcast. Thank you so much. Side note, I really think that we should all get into the habit of telling someone when we see it, tell someone, hey, I really like what you're doing. It's meaningful. It's making an impact. You know what I mean? Like, tell people, because a lot of the times we need to hear it. But yeah, thank you to my niece for telling me, because it really just reminded me that even though when I record this podcast and I'm feeling like, oh my God, I'm not getting my thoughts out the way I wanted it to, this is not sounding how I wanted it to, or the audio's a little messed up, or it's just a bunch of things that sometimes have me sitting here in this chair frustrated with myself. And sometimes I'm like, man, forget this episode. I'm not even going to record this right now. But she just reminded me that my goal with this is never to be perfect. And that even though I may feel like I'm not doing something well, that does not mean that someone is not going to hear this and get something out of it, or be inspired by it, or feel like they're not alone, or whatever it is that they're getting from a certain episode. And honestly, it is not, I feel like if you believe in like a higher purpose and God, right? I feel like it's not in our right to deny someone a message just because we feel like we're not conveying it well, right? Honestly, I kind of feel like that. It's like I don't have the right to be like, I'm not putting this out. Like my embarrassment about something, or my self-judgment, is not greater than the purpose. It cannot be greater than the purpose that it's meant for, right? And that's another thing with perfection. Like, the goal is not perfection. The goal is to be human, because that's where connection is. And I feel like that's our purpose, is to connect to other people in some way, whatever mode that you do that, right? And it's like, if you're chasing perfection, can you actually fulfill that purpose, right? Because you're chasing perfection, you're always trying to put on this facade of, I don't do anything wrong, I don't make any mistakes, I have this and that, like just this aesthetic facade of like idealism. I don't know. If you're doing that, how can people actually connect to you? How can people actually relate to you? I think that if we show our imperfections to the world, that's how people relate, and that's how people connect. And that's how we can kind of operate in our purpose of it. I don't know, I'm going somewhere with this point, but that's the main thing. I just wanted to get on here and remind you, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're working on, whether that's a creative project like this, a new hobby, a new career, like whatever it is in your life, don't go at it from a place of trying to be perfect. It's not helpful for you. It's not helpful for the people around you. Your goal, your purpose is not to be perfect. It's just to be human. It is just to be human. And in that humanity is where, the connection lies. In that humanity, in the imperfections, in all the mistakes, in all of the things that you get wrong, that's where the relatability lies. Like, that's how people relate to you. That's how see this pause that I'm taking right now. This is something that frustrates me. But that's really how people relate to you, and that's what makes you who you are. That's what develops you. And that's what helps other people develop as well, is showing them that, hey, I may be imperfect, but we can still improve, we can still grow, we can still, I don't know. That's just how we impact people, through our imperfections. Through our imperfections. That's how we relate to people and how we make an impact on this world. Not by being perfect, but just by being human and being relatable. And God didn't make us perfect. God did not make us perfect. He could have. He could have. But he didn't. And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for that. If God made us perfect, there would be no space to grow. There would be no space to inspire other people. And I don't know. But anyway, I just want to get on here and say that. Thank you to my niece. I love you. Yeah, it was really nice to hear that. And it really just helped me to get in a better mindset around this podcast and what I'm really trying to do, and get out of my own way, get out of my own head, and, feel like there's meaning behind this, even if I feel like I'm not getting it out well. And I don't have to be perfect. You and her enjoying this podcast and sharing it, like, just reminded me, man, I don't have to be perfect. I need to get out of my head. I just need to be human. I just need to be human. I just need to sit here and do this and lose train of thought and repeat myself and whatever else. Things that, happens here that I don't like, right? That I judge and critique. But that's not stopping the message from getting across, right? So anyway, that's all. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you're enjoying this podcast, please give it a like, give it a share with someone who you feel like would benefit from it. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification button. We're posting here every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I'm coming out with something new. All right. And I will see y'all next time.